Hi, and welcome to Broker Tools, where we unpack the tools, systems, and strategies that help brokers optimize the way they work. I'm Katie, your host, and today we are catching up with Alfonso from DoxAI. For those of you who don't know what DoxAI is, it's an enterprise-level business automations partner that leverages AI technology to help banks and non-bank lenders, as well as aggregators, automate their lending process. Part of their solutions include the ability to do fraud checks, AI governance, and document processing and verification. In this episode, we are going to explore how DoxAI protects bankers, brokers, and lenders, as well as other finance and property industries from fraud. For organizations looking to build a safer and more secure process in their lending workflow, this episode is for you. Alfonso, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me, Katie.
You are most welcome. It's been quite a journey because you and I have had several conversations around DoxAI, and I kind of love the details of how it actually works. But before we can go into and talk about what actually DoxAI does, can you tell us, where did you start? Like, how did DoxAI even come about?
Look, DoxAI started in 2022. It all started from different types of lenders and friends that I had into the industry that had the same similar problems between fraud, collections of documents, management, extraction, and having all of those informations traveling overseas, coming back for the extraction purposes, categorisation purposes, and other different types of, I would say, manual jobs. Okay. Seeing that, I saw an opportunity. I saw something that could be automated, streamlined, kept into the country where we could create IP and informations here. We could maintain a standardized process. We could, we could optimize in other ways other than having those informations flying everywhere. Having a secured environment, having the informations encrypted in transit and during operations, having all the best standards in the industry place. And as well, all of the different products came about by just thinking of what is the next problems that a broker or a lender will face. And subsequently, that's why we have all of those different types of services and solutions in a Lego format where the lender or the broker can select each individual pieces that they require, and they can connect them together if they need to, and optimize those individual processes.
Yeah, when you say individual processes, because obviously the lending landscape is quite large, what are the key elements? Because they're the things that you might have noticed, but when you started DoxAI, but people may not be aware that they're actual features to consider.
Look, during the beginning of the lending process, when we started DoxAI at the start, okay, it was all about the ingestion of documents and the collection of information. That's where it all started. Then now it has evolved into a natural full suite of products that cover the end-to-end. Now, in the lending process, as everybody knows, of course, that is listening to this podcast, it's mainly the origination, so the collection piece, the verification of the user, the actual establishment of the financial status, the decisioning, the packaging up those information and sending it to the lender for another verification. Those are the type of processes that we have initially started with DoxAI. Now, DoxAI does a lot of different types of industries today. It has been almost 4 years now that we're around, so we have diversified in multiple different processes and industries. But regarding the actual lending process, we do every segment. So the origination component, the actual collection component, the processing, establishing, extracting information, decision, fraud checking, identity verification, and then actually the loan management component as well we have as part of our offering. So all of those individual processes. Now, what do I mean with the process? When you collect a document, the broker will have to read that document, validate it, extract information, fill under the system, then subsequently submit it. The lender decides, comes back. All of those steps that are manually. With DoxAI, you can simply just put the document in and the system does everything by itself. And basically, the broker just finds themselves with the whole application executed.
So when you're saying it's executed, ultimately when a document comes through, you're actually kind of scanning that particular document to decide what that type of document is. The difference between, say, a income statement versus a bank statement, or a driver's license. And then you can set of rules based on the type of document it is. Is that?
Absolutely. So we have two options. So we have the options where it is up to the workflow. So the document comes in, we read it, we understand the type of category the document is. If there is multiple categories in the documents, we automatically split it. So subsequently, let's say you're sending me a mortgage packet. In those circumstances, you can have driving license, passport within the same page. You could have a pay slips. You could have 3 sets of pay slips in the same PDF. You could have other types of informations like the income statement, the financial statement, all of this different information in one single PDF or in each individual document. The system will categorize it, classify it, split it. Then after it splits it and it understands what it is, it will automatically extract the information based on context. Then after it does that, it's doing the fraud checking. So checking if it is generated with AI, if it is a fake license or not. It does as well federal government checks. So we go to the DVS to verify the originality of the documents. We can as well verify the content of the documents, the metadata, the structure, the context, if it was generated with AI or not, so on and so forth. Then once that document is fraud checked, we basically package it up with all the data extracted. We connect automatically to the systems of the lenders if needed. And this data is then used to make the decision on the loan, okay? As part of that, once it gets to the lender, we provide as well redaction services where all personal information gets removed. Then we also provide storage services, loan management services, CRM services for the brokers or the lenders, a full suite pretty much of anything that is needed to automate and streamline. That's option one. The option two that we have, which is the new option that has come out at the beginning of this year, is the fully autonomous process, where we have developed internal agents that are using those individual functions and items in the process that self-manage the communication between all of these components. And if the human intervention is required, they will request the human intervention to adjust the informations and proceed to the next step. So it's a very different process than everybody's following. Everybody's following human in the loop. So where the AI creates the issue, the human is always there in the loop, while we're creating something that is completely autonomous, where the human is actually asked to join into the process to see if there is any issue or not, instead of being there constantly. Only if the AI finds the issue, we'll call the human in. So it's a new approach. There is a lot of different things that we're working on in regards to that, but yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's where we kind of need to lead towards and move towards. And I guess when it comes to document safety and process, how does that actually work with you?
So all of the informations for us, if we're talking about international companies or national companies here in Australia, we basically are governed by what the customer prefers. So we have geolocation in everywhere around the globe. So if it is an Australian entity, all the data would reside in Australia. If it is a Canadian entity, all the data would reside in Canada, for example. We are SOC 2 Type 2. We are ISO 27001. We also have PCI DSS certification for all different types of credit cards and all other types of information. In other industries, we have HIPAA compliance. In Europe, we have GDPR compliant as well. We do have some new certifications, which I would say we almost issued ourselves, which is AIOC and AIGC, which is around that governance AI piece of our new product and new platform we have that we talked about before the podcast. But yes, we basically have best standard encryption. We do cybersecurity penetration testing every single year. We test each one of our products individually. We have monitoring tool 24/7 on our cybersecurity and availability and status. Best grade technology, pretty much. All of our infrastructure is active to active. So we guarantee to our customers 0 downtime anytime, which it means if any data in any geolocations around Australia goes down, our system will still be up and available.
No, and I guess when it comes to managing that, especially now in the age of AI, yes, we were talking about your AI governance platform, but how does that work, especially if we're doing agentic first processes? Because how an agent works is often the question, especially now that OpenClaw exists and it's not the safest platform. How do we make sure that if you are using any AI agents, that is like that type of data is protected?
Okay, so I am not a pro-American companies and neither an against American companies, but I have mixed feelings. Informations about your customers should never be utilized in environments where a generalized purpose. Okay, they should never be used in simplicity by just putting it in a chat box and asking for a response. Okay, rule number one. You should have systems, infrastructure, storage, and you should have the right AI models deployed in the right sovereign methodology to ensure that your client's data are secure. There is tick boxes and terms and conditions that say that all of these data might not be used for the training purposes and so on and so forth, and all of this nice legality around it. But again, you should use tools that are designed for the purpose for which you want to use it. So be very responsible with your customers' data. A lot of times I have seen that I've seen people collecting information about their customers finance and not using it in the proper way. So be very mindful of where their data is going, what type of securities you have activated. Be very, very cautious of the information those models give you. Because those models give you, let's not forget that those are prediction models, not deterministic models. Prediction models are basically just guessing the next item that they're going to tell you based on a data set of information it has retrieved. It's not always accurate. It is mainly designed around the customer desire. So if it is making you happy, it will tell you whatever you like, fake or not fake. At the same time, there is the hallucination component, so on and so forth. So that's where I always suggest people to work with companies that have expertise in this, that are using their own IP, they have full control of where the information is going, how the model is behaving, how the AI is responding, and they are able to audit back on things that have happened and not just provide your response based on a document. So use it very carefully. I've been in AI since I was a 15-year-old kid. I wouldn't even call it AI. I call it machine learning at the end of the day. And they're just different types of models. The technology is very promising. It's not yet a substitute of a human. It's a human optimizer. It's getting very, very to the level of fear. Where people still feels that it's going to substitute somebody. It's still far away from that. It's very efficient, don't get me wrong. It's very, very powerful, but if it is misused, it's as powerful. So it can create big damages, as well as you have seen with OpenClaw.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, the conversation we are having, and this is, I guess, what DoxAI might do best in that process as it grows, because obviously you can validate documents whether or not they're genuine or whether they're AI generated. Right. And then on top of it, from an agentic AI workflow, you have auditing systems in place. So when an activity occurs by an AI agent within your system, it's almost like when you build out a CRM, you have notifications, you can track all these activities that someone has done. You've got a version of that. Correct. For your AI agents.
Correct. So the AI agents automatically have to write each individual tasks that they're performing. At the same time, we're not in our process building, in our workflow building, we don't always use generative AI or large language models. A lot of the times we use the specific technology that is best for the purpose for which we're using it for, which it means if in some circumstances we have to use deterministic models, we will use deterministic models. If in some circumstances we need general prediction models, we will use that. So that's where the expertise comes, to actually have successful deployment of AI applied to your workflow internally in your business, you need expertise from any aspect of artificial intelligence. You don't just need expertise in how to use ChatGPT, on how to use generative model and agents together to create a workflow. You need complete coverage, because the technology that has been designed, it can be applied to anything, even if it is designed for general purposes, but it will not work. It is not the same, they say a jack of all trades, master of none, but still better than a master of one. That might apply for a human, but that does not apply to AI.
Yes, and that's, I guess, where the context awareness really comes into play. And I guess when it comes to building out any normal business, and ultimately AI is not necessarily replacing people, but jobs people do. And when people do specialist jobs, you need a specialist LLM to do that particular job.
Well, it's more like a configuration of the knowledge for which the model is relying on. It's not actually a specific large language model that is doing the task, or it's optimized for that purpose. It's like a recognition flow. So it basically has to be designed for that purpose. Large language models are designed to predict the next sentence and to try to make sense of the previous tokens or words and keep predicting the next one within the context that you have established within the prompt. Now, again, it depends. If everyone says that you are a HR advisor, make sure that you rely on your knowledge of being an HR advisor. It's just basically segmenting the data set that the model will use to respond back. But it doesn't actually mean that the response that is going to come back is 100% accurate. It might hallucinate. It might just satisfy you for that response.
Yeah. And as you talk about it more, what I realize is, from a behavioral mechanism, as you said, there's a prediction model. So it's trying to predict what you want. It's almost like giving you your future, like you're a horoscope. But it's not guaranteed that that's the outcome of your life. Whereas what you're trying to move more towards within your workflow is the deterministic process, where it's actually running on facts, not
correct
assumptions.
It's a hybrid between both contexts. So where the prediction is best and where the actual deterministic component is best. So trying to limit the prediction component of those models together with a slight touch of deterministic models. So instead of just giving you blah, it will actually give you a formed response and feel comfortable enough to say, I might not know the answer to that point, instead of just giving you what you desire.
Nice. And so I guess from a workflow point of view, how would it apply to the document collection and fraud management process?
So in the document collection space, what we have developed is, for example, the whole following up with customers, the whole asking the quality of the document, for example. So I'll give you an example. In the broker space, the broker requests the documents, a driving license and pay slips, okay? The customer uploads those documents. The broker can see that instead of the driving license, the customer accidentally uploaded the photo of a cat, okay?
Yeah.
Today, it's done by the broker. The AI that we have inbuilt will automatically scan the document, understand what if that document is a cat or a driving license, and if it is a cat, it will automatically start a communication with the client and say, hey, client, you have uploaded a photo of a cat. Can you please make sure it's a driving license? Without the need of any human intervention at that point, right? Because it's basing itself on the rules, on the policies that are set by the broker. Then once that it's fixed, it checks the quality of the documents, if it is encrypted or not, and all other sorts of information. Once it passes all the checks, then it goes for the extraction. The extraction that it executes, again, is set on rules, that the information that the lender actually needs. So the broker is able to select the specific lenders, and then it will automatically pull out the data that only the lender needs. Extracts it, standardizes it into a nice format, and that information can be pushed through an API to the lender. But again, any communication between the broker and the client has been as well automated if the broker wants to activate it, and as well up to the lender. So the whole cycle back for pre-credit, let's call it the pre-credit process or the pre-approval process, completely automated.
Nice. And I guess this is the value of the system as a whole, because when a document comes in, it could be multiple documents sent across, but then it's sorted and categorized it. And an AI agent could also see that you inserted your kid's homework in there and, eliminate that as a non-relevant document.
Correct. And that avoids all the sorts of different types of data leaks. So all data that starts flowing around that you actually don't want flowing around, and the lender doesn't even want that data, neither you want it on your laptop. All right. So it's sort of the AI removes all of these things out of the place and says, okay, this is a loan. Just give me the data that I need based on the policies that my broker has requested.
Yes. And it's really like streamlining that process, making sure everything goes through. And then you have, I guess, your AI governance rules, because the problem with, I guess, most agentic AI workflows, not to discredit OpenClaw, but it's the one that most people understand right now, and these are known issues, is that it can go anywhere and click anywhere for you, whereas your AI agents can only click on the things that have specific rules for it to access.
Absolutely. So it has completely, so there is a couple of new things that we have established internally. So you know how there is KYC and KYB. So know your customer, know your business customers, right? We have developed internally KYA, which is know your agent. So it is basically authentication standards that we pre-establish on each one of the agents that are controlling the functions. And we give them post-human action rights. So it only can work within that established environment. It cannot go outside of that established environment until the human approves that action. Okay. Now, again, very, very restricted in context of the lending, but the capability, because our business is completely agnostic, our business is focused on processes overall, the technology can be applied to anything, pretty much.
Yeah, which is great. And I guess we're drilling into the details only because, information matters. Seeing how it actually all works matters. And most business owners are being told to implement AI, and they don't know how best to apply it and what is the best governance and processes in place. And I guess this is the value that DoxAI is doing as a process for lenders specifically, but you also do it for others as well.
Yes. So we also as well, I would like to add on that we released a new platform called Clarity AI. So Clarity AI, it's a platform completely designed around the governance, risk, and management of AI systems. So basically, we provide AI solution and processes and automation. We are a autonomous solution AI provider. Okay, if you want to see like that. We do custom development. We use Lego approach to assemble those things together to create perfect workflows that go by themselves. But we also understood that there is a massive lack in the market today from that KYA perspective, that governance perspective, that training perspective, the risk management component of all of these different AI systems that people is deploying inside their businesses and enterprises. So that's why we released Clarity. So Clarity allows you to pretty much define your policies, governance policies, does risk assessment and management of your business internally. So it automatically goes and analyzes everything you're doing inside your business to see if people is using anything like shadow AI. Shadow AI means users within your enterprise that are using ChatGPT, Claude, or any other tool like that without telling you, and uploading all of those sensitive data to those platforms without the approval of the enterprise overall, right? So there is no management of data, no insights where it's going, who is using it, and it automatically detects that. Then it has policy tracking, then it has auto assessment, It has training programs to train all your internal staff of what actually they're using and how much they can rely on this technology. And at the same time, as part of it, we also have a sandpit. So what is a sandpit? Like, a trial. So you can basically connect all different external models, including DoxAI models and DoxAI services, and you automatically test them in a safeguarded environment. What does it mean, safeguarded environment? An environment where our system will automatically detect sensitive data, remove it, and allow you to test those models before you deploy them into your enterprise. So it's a full trust, risk, and governance piece of using AI.
Nice. And I guess by having the Lego approach that you have, it means that you can plug and play the parts that you need in your business life cycle.
Absolutely. So for example, if a broker just needs for a check or a lender just needs for a check, they can use that. But we always suggest for, high intensive manual workflows to sort of reverse engineer and try to work together in a full solution that can be deployed as an industry standard. That's also another approach that we work with. But at the same time, every business is different. Every business functions different. I hate when majority of consultancies say, we understand your business. No, you don't. Every business is different. Every business is like a household. It will be different, right? Everyone, it will behave as a different organism. So you have to understand, listen, and reverse engineer from what you learn from them to then apply the technology.
Yes, which is perfect because I guess as an example, a lender might have its own CRM system, so it doesn't need to do the document collection or the information type form field type things, but it may not have the fraud check part. That's where DoxAI could do that. Or you actually don't have the form fields, and therefore you can use, I think it's data exchange or
data exchange and eForm. So there is also segmentation you can use there. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the gift of all the suites, because again, if you don't have a part, you probably have a service that provides that part, and you can assemble the parts together so that you have a whole operating system that functions from start to finishing.
Absolutely. Look, every business has a different approach. We work with 75 bank and non-bank lenders. We have roughly 7,000 brokers on our platforms, right? So our platform is known in the market still with the old brand, which is Verimoto, which now it's actually asset verification. It's the new branding name under DoxAI. That's where majority of our brokers are. And it's one of the main asset verification automation platforms. So we have streamlined the asset verification process there. But on another note, the thing that we offer is for enterprises that want to completely redesign a process, we do a workshop, which we do completely out of charge, by the way, which is very important to understand. So we work together with the lender or the broker, and we reverse engineer that process and then redesign it into a solution, which is another approach than just replacing one thing. Don't forget, return of investment can actually be calculated when you are reinventing something, not just fixing something. You can't measure accurately enough. You have to redesign something completely from scratch and see what it was before and what it will be. Not just replacing little components. Little components are slight optimization, and that doesn't mean actually return of investment. It could actually sometimes add cost if not done properly.
I agree. If people wanted to learn more about what DoxAI does, where should they go and what should they do?
Look, we try our best on our website to put as much information as possible, but on our website there is everything. We're also building a new YouTube channel with all the informations, videos, demos, and everything, so on and so forth. But if anybody is interested, our website is the best place. Contact us. All blogs are there, all informations are there, all products are there. And if anyone wants to reach me, I'm on LinkedIn, I would say, half of my day. So always there to get a message and have a chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation, Alfonso. Anybody who's listening, if you do have questions for Alfonso, feel free to comment below. Do all the good things like, share, and we will pick up this conversation again soon. Thank you.